I have this quote from you where you say, if you think you disagree with someone, assume you misunderstood them and ask more questions. I'd love to hear how you came upon that and why is that a good approach?
So this, if I remember the context of when I said that one, I believe I said that in the context of probably remote work.
Yes.
I've been remote for over a decade now. I did GitHub remote, Heroku remote, Canonical remote. I'm still remote with Redpoint. And what I believe to be true is that while we as engineers love async communication, which I think is quite good for what I call the institutional memory of things, one of the things we also like is synchronous text-based communication. So like the Slacks and the Microsoft Teams of the world and IRC back in the day. And I have found that these are actually, while they're needed for remote work, are massive detriments. And they're detriments because they tend to allow people to completely not hear each other. And so people always say like, well, how you can escalate this is, go through these simple paths. And mine is always a short circuit. It's literally, if I think I misunderstood somebody, I literally pick up the phone and I call them and I say, hey, think I misunderstood that. Can you walk me through it? And I don't go from there to a threaded conversation to a let's write a doc to a nope. I skip all of that. And you jump to the highest fidelity thing you can find. So if you're in the same office, you literally go find an office. If you're remote from each other, you pick up the phone or you go onto video. And as you can see, in this too, I've learned to be a lot more expressive because that's part of being remote. You have to be expressive. And I'm trying to find those high fidelity types of things and get to the root of it because it's all about speed, time, and understanding. Like I want to understand that person as fast as possible with as little missed communications as possible. And again, like I think that while Slack and Teams are great tools, we've become reliant on them in ways in which I think they're not, one, they're not meant to do, and two, they're actually massively detrimental to the operations of a company.
So let's talk about an example. What's a statement that, maybe if you read or a reply that you received that you would just straight up call that person?
Well, I mean, I think like it would be, it tends not to be in like, let's say decisions or so. You're going to get into like a higher fidelity, but it's going to be like just a random comment as an example. And it might like some random comment about like, hey, we're going to go do this or something like that. And instead of start debating, like going back and forth about like, hey, why, what, where, what, that sort of thing. And a lot of people say you want to have that out in the open. No, I still don't want to have that out in the open because if I misunderstood, I'm not going to try to like debate it in there. I want to go have that conversation and come back and recap. And that's an important, feedback loop mechanism. You come back and recap it. But really where it comes down, I think, too, is like this threaded model of these communications happen and people just keep losing context. And so I would say anytime you think somebody misunderstood you, as an example, that's, I've taken it to be more proactive on my side. If I think I misunderstood somebody else or don't fully understand them, I will call. But in reality, like, think about it this way. If you say something and someone else, you think someone misunderstood you, don't try to explain yourself anymore in that moment in text. Jump to the phone. And then you can come back and say, hey, we talked offline. Here's what we talked about. And here's where, what we broke down that way. And so like the set of those types of things is actually going to be high. It could be like someone just asked about the linter A versus linter B debate. Like we can get into this, over the pros and cons and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, you could jump to the phone and say, I don't think this decision matters. It's literally like aspirin. Do I take 2 or do I take 3? It doesn't matter. Just take your aspirin and move on because we got bigger things to go do. So pick it and move. The pros and cons are not going to change the trajectory of this company. And that's ultimately what we're going to do. But that person might say, well, it's really important for the project health. I'm like, great, you have the decision, pick one and move. But I want that decision done in like the next 5 minutes.